Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm reviewing a pen from Hongdian, which is one of the the brands that has really come out in the last few years as a leader in the Chinese fountain pen market, or at least the sort of more affordable Chinese fountain pen market. And the pen we're looking at today is this one. It's from the Forest series, and this is the Black Forest. It comes in a range of different colors. There's also a Max version, which is a slightly larger version, I believe. I don't have one of those. This is the standard version, and I think it's actually really great. This is one of the pens that really put Hongdian on the map, if you will. Recognized by many as a really great EDC pen. It's super affordable, and yeah, so we're going to talk about the parts and features today. We'll do a writing sample, and then we'll talk about some pros and cons. So, starting at the top of the pen, there's a little logo there underneath a sort of a slightly domed acrylic cover. There's then little step downs and lines down the cap, which is mostly cylindrical. The clip is very stiff. Yeah, it's a hard clip to use. Then around the edge of the cap, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it says Hongdian Forest series. And then sort of like very smooth step down onto the barrel, which is got this great sort of knurling on it. I think it's very nice. And there's a little step and then a posting finial there, and which has a mostly round, slightly domed end. It is a snap cap, and it's a nice secure snap, and the mechanism of the snap feels really good. I always enjoy that. Then there is a little step down onto the section there, which tapers quite a lot. It's a slim section. Generally speaking, it's a fairly slim pen. And then we get a roughly number 5 size nib, which is in this case black coated, and F for fine there on the face of it, which you can just make out there. And then a very simple plastic bead. The pen is a cartridge converter pen, and the converter is provided, and as far as I can tell, I haven't done the exact measurements, but it looks like that sort of standard Chinese 3.4 millimeter, converter, as opposed to a standard international, which is I think about 2.6 from memory. So there are cartridges that will fit these pens, but standard international more than likely isn't going to fit. But it does come with a converter, so you can use bottled ink, and that's what I tend to do anyway. And that is the basics of this very simple little pen. I should say, it does post onto the posting finial there. It's nice and secure posting. It does make quite a long pen, and it feels long given the narrowness of the section, how slim that pen is, but it is very usable. I tend to find myself holding it slightly further back, just for a nice distance on the page, and then the balance doesn't feel quite as bad. The further down you hold it, the more you feel the weight of the cap on the end there. But as I said, that is the basics of this very simple, very nice little pen. Let's now do a size comparison. For the size comparison today, I've just got it alongside the standard Lamy Safari. You can see it's a little shorter, just by a few millimeters, but it is definitely on the slimmer side. Uncapped, it's once again a little bit shorter. The Lamy standard sort of nib is roughly the same sort of size as a number 5 nib, but you can see it's got a longer section there than the Hongdian, and it's definitely a girthier pen. However, once you post them, they come in around the same kind of length. The Hongdian doesn't post particularly deeply, just onto that posting finial, which means that both pens line up pretty well in this format. Now, in terms of the specific dimensions of the Forest pen from Hongdian, it's 138 millimeters when it is capped. It's 121 when it is uncapped. So it's a perfectly usable length for most people. Not big, but perfectly usable. And then when it's capped, it's posted, it's 174. Around the middle of the grip section is 8 millimeters. So that definitely falls into that slim category. And the main diameter of the pen is about 11 millimeters. So it's completely slim. Like there are pens with sections that are bigger than the entire barrel of this pen. The pen weighs 29 grams, 20 in the body and 9 in the cap. So the balance is okay in both formats. As I said, I hold it slightly further back on the step down. I find that gives me a good grip, and the balance remains pretty good there. Okay, let's do a writing sample with the Hongdian Forest. So this is obviously the Black version. It comes in a range of different colors. And there's a couple of different nibs that you can kind of get on these pens, depending on the seller, obviously. This one has a steel fine nib, and I'm absolutely fine with that. The ink in this today is from Colorverse, and it's a really nice ink from the Apollo series, and it is Apollo 11. It's a really nice, rich, dark blue, not quite blue-black, but really lovely, rich, dark blue. And it's a color family that if you've been following my channel, you know I really love writing with. Let's do some writing. So that little skip there, that was me not lining the nib up properly on the page. You can see it writes very nicely. Wetness, it's not the wettest pen, and this is a I'd say a medium wet ink, but you definitely have a really lovely flow, and that's with no pressure whatsoever. Reverse writing, it's actually very smooth. It's a little dry, and I think it'll dry out quite quickly, but you can get a couple of words out if you need to. Flex, look, it's incredibly stiff. It's a rigid nib. You're sort of just putting down more ink. Quick writing. The camera decided to stop filming as I was recording that writing sample. So basically, as I was saying, like, it keeps up, it's nice and smooth, it does the job. I've had no issues with this nib, I've had no issues with ink starvation or anything like that. No hard starts, no drying out. It keeps up, and there's a reason why this pen is considered by many to be a really, really great everyday writer that you can carry, not too expensive, robust metal body, good writer. So let's talk about some pros and cons. Okay, so what are the pros and cons of the Hongdian Forest fountain pen? Well, okay, we'll start with a couple of cons. And this is a personal one for me, and it's not going to be for some people. In fact, it'll be a pro for some people, and that is how slim this pen is. The grip section feels very slim because you've got a little bit of bulk behind it, and when it's posted a fair bit of length, it does feel very slim. Hence why I tend to hold it further back, and also gives me a nice distance away from the page. I find this clip to be very stiff. Like, it's kind of functional enough, but like, it is very, very stiff. So, you know, if you put it into cases like elastics and things like that, or softer fabrics, it might be harder to get sort of on there. The other thing is some people will find this nib just to be a little bit sort of stiff and rigid, and that will be dependent on you. I don't mind it. I like a sort of a slightly stiffer nib. I prefer steel nibs to soft gold nibs, so this one works well for me. Let's talk about pros, and let's start with the price. This pen cost me something between $10 and $15 Australian, including postage. Super reasonably priced. It can come in a little bit more than that, but you can often find it around that price, and it's available from sites like eBay, AliExpress, you know, Amazon, all those kinds of online retailers, and some of them have it for, as I said, as little as $10 Australian. So keep an eye out for those kinds of prices. I think the build quality is really solid. Obviously, it's a metal pen, so it's nice and robust, but all the threads are really nicely done. There's great tolerances. Everything lines up really, really well. The snap on that, or the capping mechanism, is really great. So yeah, great build quality, super robust. Yes, it's a reliable nib. It might be a little bit boring for some people, but it is super reliable. Never had an issue with it whatsoever. And you know, also there's lots of colors available for the pen, so check out, find one that you like. I also really like the blue version. I just have a bit of a tendency to go for sort of black colored pens because that's kind of what I like. That's fine. So yes, this is a great EDC pen. If you like slimmer pens, if you want something you can put down the side of a notebook or a journal, this is a great option at that price point. If you lose it, if it gets damaged, you're not going to worry. You know, if you chip the material or scratch it or whatever, not going to be a problem. You know, you're not taking a $400 fountain pen around with you. You're taking a $15 fountain pen, and it writes super well and super reliably, and that is the main thing. So yes, thank you for watching this video today about the Hongdian Forest series pen, which is in the black version here, the Black Forest. I hope you found it interesting and useful. Please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button, all that kind of stuff. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there's a way you'd like to support the channel, I would really love to hear from you. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.